one of the biggest pushes in open education, in the kind of movement around open education, which I agree with, is opening up access, making things more available and possibly more affordable. One of the things I have a problem with is the way in which open educational resources as a movement, OERs, has been, at least in the United States, has been so closely tied to the idea of funding and cost savings. And for me, the foundation is you can appoint so much value to this idea of saving costs, and it's good that you save students money. But I think while you're promoting that, what's being undermined, or there's no light being shined on it, no attention being paid to it, is that systematically funding for higher ed and education in general in the US has been cut dramatically. And so that you're still charging students 15, 20, 30, 40 grand a year to attend, and then you're saying, look, we'll save you a couple of thousand maybe on textbooks. But the thing to me is it's a wash. And I think that the idea of open education, in my mind, is still greatly tied to a public education system that works and is affordable, books aside. I do think that we've done a terrible job of remediating the web for textbooks, saying that what we need is more textbooks, just free and open. The web provides us a completely new environment, yet we've completely fallen back on the idea of we need a book. And I don't agree in that. I don't agree with that at all. That said, if I say, look, this whole OER, this textbooks thing is crap, it's like I'm trying to shoot puppies or kittens, right? Like it's like I'm some sort of, no, I mean, I want to save students money. But I think so much money has been invested in this idea of the OER, whereas very little has been invested in the idea of exploring new models for building resources with students, with faculty. And so less, and it's a problem more generally, the investment is always going to be in stuff and not in people or professors. We've seen that with the MOOC. We see that with OER. And I just think it's a chronic problem of trying to kind of remove the problem in the equation, which is human resources that are expensive, and trying to solve it with a resource that is inert, that really won't change. And the big question with OER is really won't be used. Who the hell's using it? I mean, all this talk about saving money, but very little talk about how it's being used and reused. And there's a reason for that. So for me, the future of resources remains what the future of resources have always been. People. People doing cool things, people sharing the work they're doing, and investing in students and making the future possible by giving them some sort of, financial outlook that's not debt. So I speak from a very specific US point of view. It's not the same in Europe. There are much better systems for providing infrastructure. But for me, when Europe starts talking about open textbooks, following in the footsteps of the US, I just don't understand it, particularly given that your curriculum doesn't depend on textbooks in the same way. So to me, it makes me feel like it's just a routinized approach to a far more complex and nuanced problem, right? Resources are, again, salaries, funding from the government and beyond to make this stuff available and to make it affordable. And no internet's going to change that.